NCD Independence activities launched. Locals use initiative to fix their only road. And CLRC using students to record customary laws.
This is National MTV News with Helen Sayer.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Friday's news. The public in the nation's capital gathered today to witness the launch of independence celebrations in the city. Several venues in the city have been designated to showcase various activities, including a visiting circus and live band performances. Fidelis Sukina reports.
The crowd was in awe at a Tabari place today at Boroko. Live band, the circus, yoga gymnastics and a bamboo band, giving a glimpse of what the celebrations will be like come Independence Day on September 16. NCD Governor Powers Pakop, the guest of honor, along with City Manager Bennett Kipit.
And by come up. By got battle of the bands, by got acrobatic come up, dancing by come up, now circus by come up, you looking taste as well, St. Paul.
Tahiri Moale, a street festival at the Paga Hill Ring Road and the Ella Beach, will host the main events. But others in the city not able to make it, Unagi Oval and Jack Piddick Park will have activities for the rest of the residents. UPNG, PAU and the Adventure Park will also have celebrations, spreading the festivities across the city.
So you you know go out Paga Hill, you know go out Jack Piddick, maybe Presipaso, Unagi Oval start.
But a clear message from the governor of NCD, not to color the day with provincial flags, but to fly the red, black and gold that unites this great nation.
Me repeat him again, talk last 1 or 2 years, he come up now. Last 15, 16, even 14, 17, I think government by declare him all day. Me no like him, you put him, there's a provincial flag, na kalablo you play, and you lose him. All the provincial day, you working finished. Me no like looking kind plan. Me no like looking kind design or kind color. Color blue you on September year. Red, black, gold and tassel.
The governor told the gathered to celebrate with passion, for this nation is the only country that we have, and all must take pride during independence.
We must honor and respect our country, because this is the only country we have. Some might be luckier, they might want to go to other countries, citizenship or go work in another country. But for most of us, this is where we are born, this is where we are raised, this is where we live, this is where we go to school, this is where we work, this is where we will have children, and this is our future in this country, Papua New Guinea.
Fidelis Sukina, National MTV News.
Locals from villages within Mount Koyari in Central Province have initiated a road project to address the prolonged transportation problem in the area. The transportation issue has affected business activities, medical and school supplies, and has resulted in a drop in teachers and health workers in the area. The community initiative saw the involvement of all 14 villages within Mount Koyari.
Apart from traveling by air, road is the only other way into the city. However, this one has been neglected for many years. After Edevu, the 67-kilometer road leading to villages in Mount Koyari is in a dire state. PMVs only go as far as Edevu to avoid having to travel the beat-up road. Villagers trek this road every day, either to get their produce to the market or just to buy a packet of sugar. In an attempt to get the attention of relevant authorities, local and Kokoda Trek Ranger Noel Landy decided to initiate the road project.
We got the land, Mipla got ground, Mipla got kaike staplo happier. But how can we get this lab? What am I good pla kaike blow Mipla golo market na tree money. That is why most of the women all participate in this program, because mothers also have staplo house and they make the garden. But how all vaccine this produce blow na karem golo pot must be. See, suppose all karem go all charging Mipla maybe 3 kina or 5 kina per kilo. Mipla no got money. That's why I'm discouraging Mipla planting kaike Mipla stop working name staff, but hardlo mi plus salem disla. That is why our main aim is to push the road, land transport, so that roadblock car must come up. People use him hand blow, sim garden kaikai na go salem law.
A total of 95 villages, including women and children, set up camp at Manono for 2 weeks to clear the road. The cold, rainy weather did not slow down these determined locals. They come from villages that are along the Kokoda track. However, they have benefited very little from the Kokoda initiative. The Kokoda initiative is a partnership between the Australian and PNG government established in 2008 to improve the lives of communities along the Kokoda track. One would wonder where these funds are going while people from these communities are suffering.
Nogat soap, nogat one mi plus a walk about Lowens Kona or mi plus a cam goes. Na Kokoda track, it's famous, but look, as a molman walk like you see me plus tab. Or like you see me plan, you see me pla go get a hablo. One happen develop now behind all by look lo me play mas tintin blow lo senna. Also walking senna. No had good plus service come up now. Recently teacher blow me play and walk about come. Now school blow me play and pass almost 7 weeks now. Now it's half of that term now. Now me got big plus or lewa blow me buru kosena. Me
Kairukuhiri MP Peter Isa-Aimo is one of the others who has acknowledged the initiative with a 20,000 kina commitment. The Kokoda Trek Authority has also provided logistical support and food supplies. For these people, all they ask for is a good road, which they say will solve many of their problems. Charlene Eri, National EMTV News.
The Constitutional and Law Reform Commission has engaged the University of Papua New Guinea's School of Law to have students record customary law. In an agreement signed today at UPNG, CLRC Secretary Dr. Eric Kwa said customary law is important and must be protected. 30 third-year law students are pioneers of this program. They will record local customs and traditions in their respective areas.
The selected students will spend their Christmas holidays at their respective districts to record their local customs. The recorded customs will then be recorded and verified by the CLRC and presented to the Provincial Assembly. Dr. Kwa said this is to make the customary law formal so that it can be used by courts in decision making. It also helps achieve the government's goal of promoting PNG Way.
We should engage with the University of Papua New Guinea, for the university to work with us to see if we could roll out a program to implement this constitutional mandate by, first of all, starting to record the customary law. We're hoping that when we record the customary law, we can then work with the provincial governments to declare a customary law for a particular LLG or for a particular language group, and then compiling all those data together, we might then get a provincial custom.
PNG is a land of 1,000 tribes and different language groups with different customs and traditions. However, nothing has been done to protect these customary laws. Dr. Kwa said this program will help protect and promote our customs and promotes our identity as a Papua New Guinean.
That's why we are calling on the government to support this process, support this project, and support the university, support the law school, support the Constitutional Law Reform Commission to implement this constitutional mandate. It's not just a simple direction or a simple policy by government. This is required under Section 20, Section 21, and Schedule 2, and the Underlying Law Act of 2000.
UPNG Vice Chancellor Professor Vincent Malaibe said the university is happy to engage with CLRC in the program. He said UPNG being the platform for this program will help future decisions in court, and the people can feel that their customs have meaning.
It provides a platform for future decisions of the courts to incorporate customs in their decision making, and by making Molano place, you feel good. Because custom blue you mean now. You got meaning. Long country blue you mean now. They recognize our custom.
Rayon Lakingu, National EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. We go for a short break now, but stay tuned for more of the day's other stories when we return. Welcome back to the news. Being a maritime country, safety at sea is paramount. Yesterday, National Maritime Safety Authority launched a search and rescue boat and safety at sea booklet. The search and rescue boat will conduct operations at sea, while the safety at sea booklet is a community awareness guide.
The launching of the Search and Rescue Boat and Safety at Sea Manual marks a new chapter in the history of National Maritime and Safety Authority. NMSA board chairman at the launching said NMSA, despite financial constraints, will continue to deliver much needed capabilities and ensure safety at sea. It took them 2 years from the concept to the implementation of the search and rescue boat named Hetahu. The chairman said there will be one boat located in each province for emergency purposes.
Financial difficulties, we fully expect that our functions, and we assure the national government, in fact, and different stakeholders and people of PNG that we will continue to do our very best to ensure safety at sea. We're a maritime country, as you know. We probably have, in terms of coastline,
He added that NMSA is ready to play its role in APEC to make sure that the safety at sea is guaranteed for everyone. Transport and Infrastructure Minister Wesley Nunkun said the government is committed to supporting the NMSA to ensure matters concerning maritime safety and marine environment safety is guaranteed.
This government, the government of O'Neill Abel, is therefore committed in providing the necessary support to the National Maritime Safety Authority so that it will continue to fulfill its mandated responsibilities, which include search and rescue operations, matters concerning maritime safety, and marine environment protection. That is the assurance of the government.
The Transport Minister officially launched the search and rescue boat and booklet on behalf of the Deputy Prime Minister, who did not attend. Rayon Lakingu, National EMTV News.
Dental equipment worth about 400,000 kina has been donated by the Australian Rotary Club to the Juwaka Health Division. The Rotarians also arrived in Juwaka yesterday and will be there for 10 more days to install the equipment in the new dental clinic. 2 dentists from Australia will be in Juwaka next week to see and work on children's teeth.
The people of Juwaka province are fortunate to receive such specialized dental equipment from the Australian Rotary Club. The equipment is valued at 400,000 kina and will be fitted into a new dental hospital at Minch in Juwaka province. More than 40,000 children will be able to frequently visit the dentist for their oral health.
So, in collaboration with the Juwaka government and Dr. William Tungan, we've worked together to build this building you can see behind me, and Dr. Williams put that together. And then together we're building the internals, all the cabinetry, the dental clinic chairs, the x-ray machines, the sterilisers, everything you need to have a proper operating dental clinic.
Juwaka Provincial Health Program Manager Tidius Turi said oral health is just as important as other health programs. However, the oral health program has been neglected for over 20 years with poor dental services to the people of Papua New Guinea. Public dental services have limited staff and equipment, and private dental centers are very expensive. A survey in Juwaka province has shown that 9 out of every 10 children have dental problems.
Oral health is important as other programs we have in the health division. But in Papua New Guinea, we give priority to other programs, and we don't see the importance of oral health.
Jiwaka Governor Dr. William Tongap, under the Provincial Services Improvement Program Fund, supported this project by giving 142,000 kina to build a new dental clinic and to cover the transportation cost of the equipment from Australia to Jiwaka Province. The new Minch Dental Hospital will be fully equipped with the specialized dental equipment from Australia. Fasinata Yama, National MTV News, Mount Hagen.
This is the news on MTV. We take a look at stories making headlines overseas after these messages. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the news. Turning overseas now, if you've always wanted to feel the rush of skydiving but can't face jumping out of a plane, you might just find what you're looking for in Queenstown. It's the home of New Zealand's first indoor skydiving facility, which opened its doors just today.
If you Google the word fun, and there's a very real chance, it'll look something like this. It's called iFly, skydiving minus the aeroplane.
In all honesty, if you close your eyes inside that tunnel while it's going, you can't tell the difference.
The tunnel's the latest piece of adventure tourism to hit Queenstown, a market which continues to grow, with close to 1 million visitors trialling some sort of adrenaline rush in the region every year.
It's an absolute no-brainer to put this in Queenstown. I mean, Queenstown has so many fantastic operators who are doing, some amazing soft adventure and hardcore adventure tourism attractions.
This is classified as soft adventure, although judging by some of the tricks Australian Sarah Yates was doing, it takes a while to get used to.
I understand this isn't your first time in one of these.
No, I've been doing it for about 2.5 years now.
In 2.5 years, how many times have you flown?
I've done about 95 hours in the tunnel.
So how much like the real thing is it? Let's go find out. When you go up straight away, how'd you judge my effort?
You went actually pretty well. Like, your body position was pretty good.
Not only is it a bit of fun, it's actually recognised as a sport in its own right.
It's becoming a thing, and with a little bit of luck, we might even be at a show for the Olympics.
But don't worry, it's also for beginners.
You're not much of a daredevil usually?
No.
Another adventure already in full flight down south.
England is on the verge of banning under 18-year-olds from buying energy drinks packed with high levels of caffeine. The drinks have been linked to a range of health issues, including anxiety, insomnia, and behavioural problems.
High energy, packed with sugar, and loaded with caffeine. There's concern about obesity and tooth decay, hyperactivity, and sleeping problems. And they reckon 2/3 of 10 to 17-year-olds are drinking them. If you take Red Bull, every 100 millilitres has 32 milligrams of caffeine and 11 grams of sugar. The levels in Monster are around the same. That's 3 times the amount of caffeine in Coca-Cola and a similar dose of sugar. So one large energy drink gives a child their daily allowance of caffeine. And this local GP's seen an 11-year-old who was drinking 8 cans a day.
Large amounts of caffeine lead to things like palpitations, rapid heartbeat, headaches, chest pain, and behavioural problems in children. And sugar leads to obesity and things like diabetes.
The people behind these brands say they're not marketed at children, and they've pointed out that most of these energy drinks contain the same level of caffeine as a cup of coffee. But the government's asking how a ban should work and whether 16 or 18 is the right age.
The younger children, it's worse, but I think 16, 17, 18, there's not really an issue.
People will still be able to get hold of them. Like, same way, like, you get kids smoking and stuff, they get hold of it, so it might reduce it a bit, but I don't know by how much.
This primary school head teacher's already gone further and banned all fizzy, sugary drinks because of their impact on kids' health and behaviour.
Inattentiveness, inability to sit still, low level disruption, calling out, rocking on chairs. There are enough issues that create hyperactivity tendencies within children, let alone them taking on caffeinated drinks in the morning.
They're eye-catching, tasty and cheap, but it looks like energy drinks are about to have their wings clipped.
The father of a young man who died while using synthetic drugs is calling for tougher penalties for suppliers and manufacturers. It's been a month since the New Zealand government launched a multi-agency effort to find ways to reduce the use and supply of the deadly drugs, but there are no solutions yet.
A year on from his son Callum's death, Lewis Jones still holds his son close to his heart.
He just said to me, "Dad, I can't stop."
22-year-old Callum Jones was hooked on synthetic drugs. It was his escape from mental illness.
And I've seen him just go down and further go down.
He died at home after what would be his final hit. Callum is one of at least 46 people believed to have died from synthetic drugs in the past year. Last month, the then acting Prime Minister said it had to stop.
We're going to put the best resources and the best multifaceted team across a number of portfolios onto this case.
Today, Jacinda Ardern didn't appear to be any closer to offering a way forward.
It's an ongoing problem with not very many obvious solutions, given that we have already banned its use in New Zealand.
Health Minister David Clark's told One News one option would be to reclassify the substances, bringing them under the Misuse of Drugs Act, giving police wider powers to deal with those producing and selling them. National's Simeon Brown says his bill, currently before a select committee, is staring the government in the face.
I've got a solution to increase the penalties for those found guilty of supplying synthetic drugs. They can adopt it, and then we can get on and do it.
Lewis Jones also supports stiffer penalties.
We've been through the court process and I've seen the boy who supplied the lethal dose that killed him walk away with a 6-month ankle bracelet on.
The government says it's expecting wide-ranging recommendations from its inquiry into mental health and addiction, due to report back at the end of October.
A stingray in a Sydney aquarium has given birth despite having no contact with a male for 9 years. It's been labelled an immaculate conception, but it's no miracle, as explained in this report.
She is the aquatic sister who decided to do it for herself.
This is Freckle, as you can see. She's got a little spot on the side of her face.
And she's a single mum.
She's a single mum.
Freckle the stingray, after 9 years a spinster, got tired of waiting for Mr. Right and so decided to clone herself, last month giving birth to a girl called Annie. And she's only just learnt the process of hand feeding?
Yes, yep, only in the last couple of days, because she's only just started to eat full stop.
She's picked it up early.
She's very smart.
Freckles refreckling is an extremely rare phenomena among sharks and stingrays called parthenogenesis, or virgin birth.
This is an adaptation to living in island areas, so there's not enough males, so the females just decide after a period of time to reproduce themselves.
The first signs from Freckle a few months back were the cravings.
She was eating large pieces of mullet and trevally, like literally hoovering down the food. The version of chocolate for an eagle ray.
Then late last month, Annie would arrive. But given Annie arrived without the usual input of DNA, there were concerns the little miracle may not live long.
So we're just watching her and seeing how she goes, but certainly I think that there's going to be a lot of interest in this little ray.
So far, Annie's been hitting all the stingray baby benchmarks, eating and growing well. But one wonders what's in the water.
Maybe us female divers need to be careful when we're diving in the side of the tank, I don't know.
Dogs suffering from a genetic muscle wasting disorder have their faulty DNA repaired in a life-changing procedure. And scientists say it's a major step forward to one day helping those suffering from Duchenne muscular dystrophy, which is fatal in humans.
These young dogs all have Duchenne muscular dystrophy. The condition mostly affects males in both dogs and humans, and it gets progressively worse as they age. Now look at the contrast with these females who carry the faulty gene but are unaffected. The dogs are part of a groundbreaking project published in the journal Science involving the Royal Veterinary College and the University of Texas. This research involved editing the dog's genome, the recipe book for life. A faulty gene in the DNA causes their disease, Duchenne muscular dystrophy. The gene editing system, known as CRISPR was injected into the dogs. It scanned the genome, making a single cut at a precise point. This prompted a natural repair and enabled the dogs to produce the dystrophin protein, which is crucial for muscle strength.
By modifying their DNA in their muscle cells and in their heart, we've gone from effectively 0 to up to 92% levels of dystrophin protein. And that is widely predicted to be life-changing in human beings if we can get to that amount.
You have to press that.
And that really could be life-changing for Felix. He's 6 and his muscles are already beginning to weaken.
The prognosis for the Duchenne kids is very, very bad. Deteriorate very quickly from the age of sort of 7 and 8, normally lose the ability to walk by the time they're 10, 11, 12, and then it's a very rapid decline from then.
These animals are all descended from one dog whose owners brought it to the vet with the muscle wasting condition, and scientists found it had the same gene defect as in humans. These dogs are playing a key role in the search for an effective treatment for Duchenne muscular dystrophy, a devastating illness. But longer-term studies are needed to show whether it actually improves muscle strength and is safe. Only then would it be tested on humans. It is early days, but this research could ultimately benefit both humans and dogs.
And back home now, National Planning and Monitoring Minister Richard Maru says the medium-term development plan is ready to be launched. It took the department 9 months of consultation with local and international stakeholders to come up with the 2018 to 2022 plan. The minister said he was satisfied with the finalisation of the plan and is anticipating positive results.
Minister Richard Maru in a media conference this afternoon said the goal of the plan is to secure the future through inclusive, sustainable economic growth. Minister Maru said that strategic objectives of the plan are inclusive economic growth, quality infrastructure development, sustainable social development, improved law, justice and national security, improved governance, responsible sustainable development and sustainable management. He said the plan will cost 25 million kina and explained the plans being taken to fund the medium-term development plan.
Funding but innovative ways to fund the medium-term development plan, including a recent decision by NCD to increase the tax credit funding component from 0.5% to 2% for all sectors. We've also reviewed and basically finalized a new development cooperation policy, where we are now calling on all donors to contribute 50% of all their development funds to delivering actual physical.
Minister Maru said the plan also captures key indicators and targets at each governmental sector and stressed that these sectors have to work with the department to ensure that the targets are achieved. He said the plan also anticipated key changes at the district level.
District health centers, to upgrade all of them to hospitals. We want to start looking at improving all our district towns, providing power, sealed roads, providing water and sanitation services, providing district markets, so we can attract more public servants to go and live in our rural districts.
The 5-year medium-term development plan will be approved by NEC next week Tuesday and will be officially launched by the Prime Minister on Saturday the 8th of September. Charlene Airy, National EMTV News.
Madang Governor Peter Yama visited the affected Manam Islanders today, assuring them more relief supplies would be provided. Mr. Yama has also assured the people of Manam 3 plantations on mainland Bogia will be assessed to find out if the land title belongs to the people of Manam. He says this will open a way forward for the permanent resettlement of Manam Islanders who have been neglected for about 15 years. At around midday, the governor landed at Jogari village, one of the temporary care centres. Manam Islanders shared tears to show their plight experienced since the eruption. They said at least 9 villages are affected. affected by the eruption. Chairman of the Council of Chiefs, William Rupunai, appealed to Mr. Yama to look into the Manam Restoration Authority bill and address their concerns. He said Manam Islanders need to be permanently relocated. Mr. Yama promised to address this concern in Parliament. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Peter O'Neill is expected to visit the affected islanders tomorrow. Morobe's provincial board members of lands and physical planning were sworn in today in Lae after being without an official board since 2015. The members were appointed by the Provincial Executive Council early this year. The swearing-in was delayed due to funding problems. The provincial chairman and member for Minyamya, Thomas Pelika, is urging the new board members to deliver to the people of Morobe with honesty.
The new Provincial Lands Board is made up of 10 members, including George Muti Rewe, who passed on last month, leaving the board with 9 members. The board's deputy chairman is John Nandang. The Physical Planning Board consists of 12 members. The PEC appointed Lae's acting city manager, Kesu Lucas, as chairman, and George Guare, who represents the urban citizen community, and the people of IE as deputy chairman. According to Lands Act 1996 and Physical Planning Act 1989, these members will serve for a term of 3 years.
For the last 2.5 years or something, Morobe, no a physical planning board. So what has happened is in the past is all man law here or lay, like blow, go Mosby, na kisim title or like, nega mokum something like.
Morobe's Provincial Lands and Physical Planning Board was ineffective for almost 3 years. These resulted in reports by the public in Lae concerning breaches of regulations by various businesses and lack of enforcement by authorities. The Deputy Secretary for Lands, Tiri Wanga, says the new provincial boards now have the power to review and correct illegal deals that were done in the past.
Some of those administrative functions and responsibilities and that has been lacking for, like physically on the site, carrying out inspection to check and monitor the developments that are taking place, whether it is under, they are doing under the Fiscal Planning Act or Land Act. It should be corrected by the 2 boards now.
The provincial chairman has called on the provincial government to make resources available in order for the 2 boards to combat illegal land dealing in the city. The Deputy Secretary for Lands, Tiri Wanga, said the Provincial Building Board should also work closely with the 2 boards. Julie Badui Owa, National MTV News, Lae.
This is National MTV News. Chukai Sports is next. Stay tuned.
Chukai Sports.
Welcome to Chukai Sports. Northern Region Paradise Foods Limited New Kick program successfully ended on a high last weekend in Lae. The grand final matches were played in 3 divisions: under 13, 15s and under 16s boys and girls. Reigning champions of the events were Muya Primary School, Sale Dogs Junior Club and Port Power Junior Club.
Paradise Foods New Kick School AFL competition that concluded over the weekend saw individual young AFL players and teams walk away with both medals and trophies. Like Port Moresby, the grand final events also attracted a number of schools in the province. The event was played in 3 different divisions: under 13, under 15 and under 16. The first match in the under 13 division in the boys competition saw Sale Dogs thump Buimore Primary with 2 goals, 8 behinds and total of 36 points. The Best on Grounds award went to Terence Tony and Anthony Kenny. In the girls division, Muya Primary proved to be the dominant side over Darusilla to take victory with 36 points win. In the under-16 girls division, Muya Primary conquered the match again with 22 points to Omili Primary trailing behind with 8 points. In the under-15 boys grand final match between Port Power and Sale Dogs, Port Power proved to be the dominant side, thumping Sale Dogs by 22 points difference, 40 points to Sale Dogs 18. The competition now over, teams will go on break and will return next year for the new season. Godwin Eki, National MTV Sports.
Now, it wouldn't be a tennis major without a Nick Kyrgios story that's about anything but tennis. The controversial Australian managing to turn his second-round US Open match around following a bizarre pep talk from the umpire. A conversation that came just when it looked like Kyrgios was in one of his self-destructive moods.
No one can blame umpire Mohamed Layani for wanting to help Nick Kyrgios, a player who often seems determined to waste his amazing talent. But the question is, did he help him and should he have?
I'm not sure it was encouragement. He said he liked me. I don't know if that's encouragement. But again, he was just telling me this is not a good look.
The trainer was called, but apart from a pat on the back, no real treatment was given. Yet Kyrgios returned to the court and somehow turned things around against Frenchman Pierre Huguebert. After being down a set and a break, he won the second set tiebreak.
I have no words. Most of the time when Nick plays, I have no words.
Kyrgios then won the next 2 sets, dropping just 3 games. Huguebert says the conversation with the umpire was a turning point.
I think this was not his job, and I don't think he's a coach. I think he's an umpire, and he should stay on his chair for that.
Kyrgios's next opponent, Roger Federer, wasn't impressed.
I don't know what he said. I don't care what he said, but it was not just about how you're feeling. I'm not feeling so well, and go back up to the chair. It was there for too long.
In a statement, the US Tennis Association says Layani left his chair because of the noise in the stadium. The umpire also informed Kyrgios that if his lack of interest in the match continued, he'd have to take action. Layani is one of the game's most respected umpires, and he's known for being friendly. Here he is having a mid-match chat with another petulant Aussie. Kyrgios says he's had similar conversations with other umpires before, and this one didn't make a difference. But there's no denying he went from being booed to his brilliant best.
Game, set and match, Kyrgios.
In typical Kyrgios fashion, he had the last word when asked post-match about his on-court strengths.
My unbelievable movement, my returns, and my mental strength.
What a combination that would be.
Trukai Sports continues with more after these messages. Stay tuned.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. An international boxing promoter is set to swoop on yet another promising undefeated Kiwi heavyweight. But unlike Joseph Parker, Hemi Ahil has been forced to take the long road for his shot at fame and fortune.
He's the heavyweight who had all the big names behind him.
He reminds me of a real young Mike Tyson. He can throw him, he can take him.
And won his first national title 3 years ago.
And he's down again for the second time.
He'd just hit the top, then his career hit a snag. Signed to a local boxing promotion which went bust, contractual obligations left Hemi Ahio locked out of the ring for 2 years. He made a comeback last year, winning another national and Oceania title, but it's taken just over 3 years to get back on track.
With the promotion and management, it's too messy to go there, and I don't really want to go there.
All I can say is I'm back to training now, so yeah, just trying to climb the ranks now, I guess.
Guided by legendary trainer Lolohe Muli, Ahio's hooked up with the fitness guru behind Sonny Bill Williams, Quade Cooper, and rising UFC star Israel Adesanya.
I've never seen so much power, but same time so fast. Hit so hard. I was like, oh, this kid's gonna be great.
And One News understands at least 2 international boxing promoters have offered lucrative multi-year fight contracts.
From there, you know where we're going, but I can't tell you.
The only hint is that the September or October bout won't feature any Kiwi opponent. The goal is to break into the international market.
And in NRL, despite Benji Marshall's best efforts, the West Tigers have been mauled by the South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Game set up 2 first-half tries for the 9th-placed Tigers, but then they were overrun by the Rabbitohs, who racked up more than 1,300 metres on the ground to snap a 3-match losing streak.
And this time, Sutton, the Rabbits have got the Tigers on the rack. Johnston sprints away to score.
The Bunnies crowing over their lopsided 51-10 result, which lifted them to second on the NRL ladder. The Bay of Plenty Steamers are eyeing their third premiership scalp in the Mitre 10 Cup, with Canterbury in their sights and Tauranga tomorrow. The defending champions have quickly slipped to 6th after losing a stack of experience in the off-season, and they're wary of the Bay, who've beaten both Taranaki and County so far.
We made progress last week against Wellington, and now they've got to step up again. It is a younger side overall, but that's exciting. It's a chance for these young guys to put their hand up and say, look, we're ready for this level of rugby.
The youthful lineup has been bolstered by the return of 5-test All Black Luke Whitelock, who'll start at number 8. Meanwhile, Auckland, who were almost relegated last season, remain unbeaten, 3-0, after one of their new recruits scored 2 tries in 4 minutes as Waikato was dispatched 35-17 at Eden Park last night.
And they're making good progress, and it's Abel who's got the ball, he's got a double!
Melbourne Rebels hooker Robbie Abel, a former Mormon missionary and a grandson of All Black great Sid Going.
And Trukai Sports ends there for tonight. Stay tuned for your weather details for the next 24 hours coming up next.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
Looking at the weather forecast for this afternoon and tonight, in the southern region, rain drizzles in Port Moresby with a top temperature of 30 degrees. In Daru, a shower or 2, rain drizzles in Kerma, Alotau and Popondita as well. In the Mamasa region, rain drizzles in Lae, rain showers in Wau, Dang, rain and thunderstorms in Wewak, and rain showers in Vanimo with a top temperature of 30. In the New Guinea Islands region, rain showers in Lorengau, Kavieng, a few showers in Kokopo, Rabaul and Kimbe with a top temperature of 30, and in Buka, a shower or 2. In the Highlands region, rain showers all across the region in Mount Hagen, Goroka, Kundiawa, Mendi and Wabeg.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
Before we go, recapping tonight's main stories. Nation's capital, Independence activities launched. Locals use initiative to fix their only road, and CLRC using students to record customary laws. And that's the news, sport and weather for today, Friday the 31st of August 2018. Now, if you've been following MTV's special Independence feature, My Province, My Country, tune in at 8 p.m. as we travel to the New Ireland province. On behalf of the entire MTV News team, pleasant viewing and safe weekend. Good night.